Hello, and welcome to episode number 100 of WrestleRotica, the podcast that combines wrestling and erotica. This week we have 3 stories to share with you. The first story is entitled Suit. After becoming the champion, Kevin Owens is reluctant to have to wear a suit, but he is helped by the game Triple H into his suit. The second story is entitled Nikki, Brie, and Renee go wine tasting. While filming for Total Divas, Nikki Bella, Brie Bella, and Renee Young take a train ride where they proceed to drink wine and have a good time. The third and final story is entitled Payback Devs 2, The Blissful Way, starring Alexa Bliss. After being stood up by her boyfriend, Alexa Bliss is frustrated and all horny. She decides that she wants to have a good time with her cab driver and proceeds to do so. Without further ado, let's get to this week's stories. This story is entitled Suit, and it was written by Lantern Hill. Kevin hadn't heard from Hunter in months beyond a quick hello. There had been no detailed explanation of some grand plan. No assistance in his title reign. There had been no repeat performance of the night they had spent together. What? Which Kevin was mostly happy about. He had been forced to figure things out on his own, and he had done a bang-up job, if he did say so, himself. Then Hunter was back and letting him know he planned to be around for a while. Kevin guessed Seth Rollins was important enough to deal with in person. He hadn't even needed Hunter to tell him Jericho was deadweight, that he was bringing him down. He knew it. Jericho had never been his best friend. Aww. Kevin had just been using him. He had kept repeating that over and over, like a mantra since the Festival of Friendship. Now Hunter watched him expectantly. Kevin could do this. He couldn't fail him. He had done it before and survived, hadn't he? He was the longest reigning Universal Champion, Kevin Owens, wasn't he?
Yes! Yes! Yes!
He wasn't intimidated by anyone or anything. He took a step forward, and despite his bravado, took a step back again. For fuck's sake, Kevin! Hunter grumbled, and then unzipped the garment bag. Kevin had been staring at for the last few minutes. It's a suit! Put the damn thing on! I would rather not wear them either, but it's about presentation. Most of the fight is won before you ever step foot into the ring. There's a tie, Kevin said, as if the prospect of putting on the suit alone wasn't making him break out into a sweat already. At least it wasn't a skinny tie. Only morons wore skinny ties. You were wearing a suit regularly for a while. What happened? Kevin shifted his weight from foot to foot. I don't know. I hate suits, Chris, he said. I should just be myself and wear what's comfortable. Hunter's eyes narrowed. You took fashion advice from a man who thinks it's okay to wear a vest without a shirt? Kevin had thought Chris always looked pretty cool, like a rock star, but he didn't say anything and shrugged. Hunter removed the garment bag from the suit in a quite violent manner. He draped the suit more carefully over a chair. The nerve of that guy on top of everything else, he muttered. I can't believe you took credit for your success. Kevin nodded vigorously in agreement. That had generally bugged him. Hunter continued. When I'm the one responsible... Kevin stopped nodding. He frowned but adopted a more neutral expression when Hunter turned back to him. Hunter examined him thoughtfully. I guess I'll have to help you with this too. He walked over to Kevin, and the look he gave him made Kevin's mouth go dry. Arms up. Kevin stayed frozen for a moment and then put his arms up. Hunter grasped the edge of Kevin's t-shirt and lifted it, pulling it up slowly and tugging it when it caught on Kevin's head a little. The soft, warm cotton felt nice against his skin. He didn't imagine that starched and pressed down button shirt would feel nearly as pleasant. Hunter kissed him lightly on the mouth and then undid Kevin's belt. Kevin stared up at the ceiling and then over Hunter's shoulder. He thought of how he had undressed Hunter the night they had spent together.
Oh yeah!
He had tried not to dwell on that night, but mostly failed. He replayed it in his head more than once, analyzed it to see if he did something wrong to make Hunter ignore him for the last several weeks. The memories were very clear in his head, and he felt a rush of arousal and unease. He didn't want to seem like a coward, so he braced himself and met Hunter's eyes. "It's nice for you to get me something and all, but was there something wrong with my old suits?" Hunter paused in the middle of unbuttoning Kevin's jeans. "Yes, there was!" Hunter shook his head slightly and undid the rest of the buttons. "Oh, well, thanks!" Kevin tried to sound enthusiastic, but it was far from the best acting he had ever done in his life. Hunter laughed and kissed him again. He then crouched down on the floor and began untying the laces on Kevin's sneakers. Kevin bent down to help. I can do that." Hunter pushed his hand away. Looking at Hunter down on the floor near his feet was doing weird things to him. So Kevin stared at a space in the wall, while Kevin finished untying his shoes and slipped them off. He looked down again when Hunter tugged at his jeans to pull them off. He certainly balanced with a hand on Hunter's shoulders to step out of his jeans. Kevin now stood, clad only in his boxers. He felt incredibly exposed under the harsh lights and crossed his arms in front of himself. He had intimate familiarity with Hunter's body, and knew under his clothes it was all cut muscle and definition.
Look at that mass!
He now looked longingly at the suit on the chair. At least he would be covered when he was in it. Hunter didn't make a move for the suit, though. He ran his hands up Kevin's calves to his thighs instead. He then nuzzled Kevin's cock while he gripped his ass. Kevin gasped and clutched at Hunter's shoulder for balance again. Hunter mouthed at Kevin's cock through the cloth of his boxers. Kevin wished there were some new boxers to go along with the new suit to give Hunter an excuse to slip them off and have direct access to skin. Kevin sighed at the loss of contact when Hunter stood up to get the suit. He kept touching Kevin lightly all over as he slid his pants and shirt on. The material probably cost more than anything Kevin had worn before, but it still felt somewhat coarse against his sensitized skin. Hunter brought Kevin's fingers up to his mouth and kissed them before he did up the cuffs on his sleeve. The motion made Kevin think of Hunter's mouth on his cock again, and he decided he hated these suit pants even more. They felt tighter and more uncomfortable now that he was aroused. Hunter left the top buttons of Kevin's shirt undone and cupped the back of Kevin's neck to pull him in for a kiss. He then trailed his mouth down to Kevin's neck. Kevin leaned his head back for easier access, and Hunter continued sucking and kissing underneath his jaw and at his neck. After a final kiss to the underside of his jaw, Hunter buttoned the final buttons on Kevin's shirt and looped the tie around his neck. He pulled it uncomfortably tight before loosening it. Kevin tugged at the tie a bit while Hunter held out the jacket for him. He knew he had to wear it, but it didn't feel natural or comfortable. "Leave it be," Hunter said. "I made it perfect." Kevin dutifully let go of the tie, turned around and put his arms in the suit jacket. Hunter adjusted it on his shoulders and skimmed his hands over Kevin's back and arms. He looked down at himself. It felt more like a costume than his gear. He turned around and Hunter stepped back to eye him critically. Kevin wasn't used to anything like this. Dressing up for someone, being put on display. It was all totally outside his realm of experience. He didn't imagine he made much of a picture. Seth must have been so much better suited for things like this. He fidgeted with his tie again. A flash of heat went through him. He might count the seconds until he could get this off and get his gear on. Hunter put his hand over Kevin's to still him. He tugged Kevin a little forward, and then slid his fingers along the lapels of the jacket. He reached into his pocket and brought out a clip. He carefully clipped it onto Kevin's tie. A gift from Steph. Hunter knelt again to put on Kevin's socks and shoes. Kevin thought about saying he could do that himself again, but kept silent. Hunter obviously wanted to do every little thing for some reason. When Hunter stood up, he was very close to Kevin. He placed his hand underneath the jacket, on the small of Kevin's back. Kevin wondered if the material felt as scratchy to Hunter as it did him. He stopped thinking when Hunter kissed him again. He was getting used to it now, how Hunter kissed softly. The hand on his back tightened just a little, and Hunter gently ran his other hand along Kevin's cock. They parted and Hunter spoke. "You're up soon." "What?" Kevin asked, rather dazed. He was rock hard. "You're opening the show, remember?" "Yes? Yes!" Kevin had thought a lot of what to say to that stupid idiot Goldberg. He corrected himself. That asshole Goldberg. But his head was emptied of coherent thoughts at the moment. "You have to pose for a few photos first." Hunter ushered him to the door. Kevin took a moment to gather his thoughts. He picked up his title and threw it over his shoulder. He guessed the red looked good against the dark of his suit. "I'm sure you will kill it," Hunter said. Kevin was sure to. The end. This story is entitled Nikki Brie and Renee Go Wine Tasting. And it was written by Generic Dude Guy. The twin diesel locomotives roared as they slowly approached the Divas. They soon growled to a halt as the vintage passenger cars aligned with the platform. Nikki and Brie Bella, along with Renee Young, were filming a wine tasting for Total Divas. In order to portray their extravagant lives, they chose the NVWT for its elegant coaches, masterful service, and exquisite wine. They began boarding with little attention to the Alco FAs, which would power their excursion. Some younger railroad enthusiasts gave up their chance to admire the 60-year-old engines to catch another glimpse of the stunning ladies as they walked down the narrow aisle in the Bella's tight leggings and Renee's classy dress. They found their seats without problem, and the conductor came to address each car of the proceedings and give local background on the area. Brie grew impatient and whispered to Nikki, who sat next to her, "Boring. Where's the wine? I want to get hammered." Nikki replied, "Just calm down, sis. It'll be here soon. This old guy can't talk forever. He probably doesn't have enough oxygen in his tank." Renee was flustered by their words, but she did want to get drunk, even though she knew you weren't supposed to. Renee always was one to bend the rules and be a bit risque. Soon, the train finally began moving out of the station and into the beautiful, isolated countryside. The wine was carted out and the ladies all drank their shares. Decadent wine was gulped down indignantly, seemingly foreshadowing the dirty and shameless actions which would take place later on. All three women were quite trashed within a relatively short amount of time from the strong alcoholic beverages. Thankfully, Renee still had enough presence of mind to keep Nikki and Brie in check. Brie began to yell, "Brie! Brie, Mom!" but was quickly cut off by Renee. So the trio only received a few dirty looks of suspicion. They kept on drinking, and even Renee started to lose her good judgment. "I gotta piss so bad. Is there a bathroom on this bitch?" Renee said, semi-quietly, "Yeah, I think I saw one at the front. Or back. I don't know. Let's go together. I gotta piss too." Nikki replied. Brie also chimed in, saying, "Hold up. I'm going too. I'm going to be the one who has to find it anyways, since you two are fucking wasted." The three tanked-up TV stars clumsily managed to get to the restroom at the head end of the car. They just barely fit in, however, and the ancient toilet had no privacy doors. They were too drunk to realize it wasn't meant for more than one person, let alone three ladies. The Divas locked the door and did their business. Once all three were done, Nikki started picking on the other ladies. "I'm sorry, but looking at you two's pussies and asses, it's no wonder everyone loves me the best."
Oh, hell no!
"Hell, I'll admit it. It's why I'm the Divas champion. I mean, look at you. My tits, my ass, so much bigger than yours. And look how hot my meaty pussy is."
"Arby's, we have the meats."
Brie took exception to her sister's one-upmanships. and thrusted her pussy towards Nikki and spread its lips, showing all the good parts to her sister. There is no way your pussy is hotter than mine. Look how tight it is too. That's something I definitely have over you. And just because your ass is bigger doesn't mean it's better. People love my bubble butt. Renee decided she'd heard enough, and in her drunk stupor, she turned and shoved her adorable ass at the two cramped twins in the small space, rubbing it on them. Feel that? That's a real, unaltered, succulent booty, bitches. Booty! I have the best ass here, hands down.
Hands down, this is the best day I can ever remember.
Nikki doesn't like hearing that and gives Renee a good slap on the ass. Renee turns around on reaction, only to have her face shoved into Nikki's massive tits. Well, no one can argue that my tits are the best damn tits in the company. Renee feels comforted by the fun bags caressing her face, but Brie pulls her out and shoves her face into her more modest breast. Renee, these are what real women's tits feel like. Squeeze them and see for yourself. Renee obliges, and at about that time all three ladies realize they're getting some sort of sexual pleasure from the whole ordeal. Renee keeps squeezing Brie's tits, but Nikki grabs one of Renee's hands and shoves it into her moist pussy, declaring, "This is what a real pussy feels like. Now learn how to finger fuck a real pussy." Renee begins thrusting 2 fingers, then 3, then just squeezes in 4 fingers in Nikki's vagina, while Brie starts working Renee's arm down towards her pussy. Renee reaches in and grabs a fistful of pussy lips, stroking her clit with her thumb while shoving 2 fingers into her pussy. Brie loves it and demands more of Renee to be shoved into her kinky pussy. Renee fits 3 fingers in and fingerbells both Bellas ferociously. Both twins are shoving their pussies into Renee's hands. However, Renee has a question.
What?
Hey ladies, what does a real pussy taste like?
Good times never seem so good.
Nikki immediately rips Renee's hand out of her and shoves Renee down to her knees so she can devour her dripping pussy. Fucking eat my clit, Renee! Put the whole thing in your mouth and suck on it like you mean it. Brie gets jealous and decides she's going to lick her sister's asshole to prove she can please someone the best, placing the bleach hole beneath and on her tongue as Nikki lets out an exasperated groan of unexpected pleasure. Brie looks faster and faster as Renee sucks and tongue fucks Nikki's pussy till Nikki is thrusting so hard she almost knocks out Renee with her massive inner thighs. Nikki looks down and commands that the two finish the job, and Renee licks her clit while finger banging her, and Brie licks her asshole till it's soaked. Don't you fucking dare stop till I explode! Nikki moans. She squirts out pussy juice almost like a fire hydrant. Soaking Renee's cute little face. Brie quickly says, "All right, Renee, now you can taste the real pussy. Get the fuck inside my vag now, you whore." Renee excitedly jumps in and starts massaging Brie's clit with her tongue. She plunges deep into Brie, and Nikki decides to try returning the favor to Brie, to make her come before she did, and prove one more thing she's better at than Brie. Renee keeps sucking on Brie's clit like a vacuum cleaner, pulling and tugging with just the suction, so Brie would get pleasure like never before. Nikki decides to be brave and takes both her index finger and slightly spreads Brie's brown butthole open so she can plunge her tongue into it. And Brie couldn't help but be accelerated by the sheer dirtiness of the act. Her own sister was licking the inside of her ass, shoving her face right into it like it was a cherry pie at a carnival.
She's my cherry pie. Cool drink one, such a sweet surprise. Tastes so good, make a grown man cry. Sweet cherry pie, yeah.
The more Brie thought of Renee's adorable cum-soaked face, just working her pussy while her kinky sister ate her ass, She came closer and closer to coming, regardless of her sister's silent challenge. Finally, she demanded they both go harder, as she climaxed more intensely than she ever had before. Her pussy showered Renee. As she was licking with her mouth agape, and Renee drank and swallowed like a good little whore, even licking her lips and Bree's lips clean. Now Nikki wanted a chance to eat some pussy, forgetting all about her little games. The trio was so drunk they'd fallen into a lesbian threesome in a cramped passenger car bathroom. The thought made Renee giggle, and Nikki took the opportunity to plunge her face into her dripping snatch, spreading it wide open and pushing her fingers against the side and into it as she sucked every inch of skin from top to bottom. She loved it more than any other sex act she'd done, even with her ripped boyfriend.
The champ is here!
Bree, however, wanted to eat some pussy too. She tried to squeeze in, but Nikki pushed off saying, "Bitch, you snooze, you lose. This pussy is all mine, baby." Renee, however, didn't agree. She knew that, despite even Nikki's antics, her pussy was most likely the most stretched one. It's always the seemingly innocent ones, you know? She demanded that both Bellas fuck her with everything they have. And after a while of sucking and licking and fingering, Renee still demanded more.
Feed me more!
Bree took Nikki's Renee juice-soaked hand, balled it into a fist, sucked it hard, and slobbered all over it. Then shoved it into Renee's slutty pussy. Renee was not expecting such an immense feeling of bliss and groaned loudly, forgetting all about the passengers outside. "Oh, fuck yes, fuck yes, fuck yes, harder, deeper, deeper, harder, deeper. Oh, fuck me with your fist." Nikki thrusted hard while Bree licked her clit, and Renee was convulsing harshly from the insane nirvana she was achieving. She almost squeezed as she just burst the floodgates all over the Bella twins, pouring sticky, thick, clear cum all over their faces. Together, the trio collectively collapsed on the floor and breathed heavily. They licked each other's faces clean, sometimes tasting their own cum and loving the dirty thought. They cleaned up real well, taking their time, and got their panties and bras adjusted, and clothes pulled back up. They tried to silently, one by one, exit the bathroom as if nothing had even happened. To their surprise, there were security guards heading to the vestibule from the next car toward them. However, when they asked a gentleman sitting nearby if the ladies had caused a commotion, he said he hadn't any problems with them. Neither did any of the men on board. And seen as though they were the only women, the guards went on their way without any evidence. The end. This story is entitled Paying Debts 2, The Blissful Way, starring Alexa Bliss, and it was written by Vicky L. Mickey. As Monday Night Raw went off the air, Raw's newest signee, Alexis Kaufman, better known by her ring name Alexa Bliss, leaves the locker room, heading for the exit of the arena that hosted the latest Raw show. As the show had been located in Orlando, Florida, which happens to be the hometown of her spouse, Matthew Adams, better known by the ring name Buddy Murphy, her plan for the rest of the night is to visit and spend the night with him. Dressed in nothing but a short, tight black dress and some casual shoes, Alexis gets ready to move down the street as Matthew just lives some minutes away from the arena. But as she walks her way toward her goal, she receives a text message from her spouse. "Hey, babe. I'm sorry, but I don't feel well today, so it's not the best idea if you visit me, as I don't want to infect you as well. I'm sorry. I love you. Bud." Alexis, annoyed to herself. "Really? And you couldn't inform me earlier so I could ask Tanel or Sasha for a ride? Now I gotta call a cab to take a ride to my favorite hotel in Jacksonville." So Alexa gets her cell phone out of her handbag and calls the cab to take a ride to Jacksonville. As the cab arrives, she tells the driver the address. As it will take about 3 hours, Alexa prepares herself to take a nap on the way. But before she can doze away, The cab driver involves her in some small talk. Cab driver. Hey, beautiful. I'm not sure, and I don't want to bother you, but is it possible that we know each other? You look familiar to me. Alexis, still annoyed by the rebuff she got by Bud. Hell no! Luckily I don't know some pathetic cab driver like you. I'm Alexis Kaufman, better known as Alexa Bliss, a professional wrestler working for WWE. Cab driver, intimidated by her rudeness, but slightly turned on. I'm sorry! Yeah, that might be sure. Please forgive me. I'm just stunned by your beauty. Alexa, feeling sorry for letting her anger out on him. No! I'm sorry. I was rude. I'm annoyed by my man who dumped me, saying he doesn't feel well. But I'm sure he cheats on me with that stupid hoe, Billy Kay. So let me start all over again. I'm Alexa Bliss, but call me by my real name, Alexis. Cab driver, blown away by the certain switch of emotions. Oh, well then. Hi, Alexa. Nice to meet you. My name is Josh. I hope you're wrong. Even though I don't know that Billy Kay, I can't imagine her being nearly as stunning and beautiful as you are. Alexis, blushing. Oh, come on. Stop being a flirt. You're making me blush. Josh, slightly giggling. Don't worry. I don't want to flirt with you. Not that you are not worth a flirt, but I don't flirt with engaged women. Alexa giggles as well. That's great, even though I don't know the actual status of my engagement. But now I'm sorry. I'm tired. I don't want to be rude, but I could need some sleep. Josh laughing. No, it's fine. I know you aren't a rude person, and I can get that you're tired after working. So feel free to take some rest. It will take 2 hours until we arrive at your place. With Alexis slowly dozing away. Josh takes a good look at her, surveying her from head to toe. Josh can't help but get a bit horny, as the tight dress just accents Alexis's curves, her round breast as well as her perfectly round ass. Josh, quietly to himself, wow, if I just could get myself just one shot at that body, I would do anything. Remembering what a fellow driver told him about an encounter with a fellow female wrestler of Alexis named Emma, Josh gets an idea. Stopping at a quiet place beside the street, he bends over the seat behind him, trying not to wake up Alexa. He grabs her handbag. Taking out her wallet, he opens the wallet and takes out the most amount of money, resulting in not enough money being left inside to pay the ride. Putting the wallet back into the bag, he places the bag back where he took it from. With the time passing by, Josh and Alexis gets closer to the hotel Alexis wants to stay at. Being just about 30 minutes away, Alexa feels like having to go to the toilet. Unable to hold on for the rest of the drive, she sees a gas station on the side of the road. Alexis. Josh! Can you please stop at that gas station there? I need to use the toilet. I'll be back in no time. Josh. Sure, but the tachometer has to keep counting. As he stops the cab, Alexis quickly jumps out and enters the gas station. As she returns, she has a concerned look on her face. Alexis. Josh, it's embarrassing to me, but I got a problem. I just noticed that I somehow haven't enough money to pay for the ride. I don't know how you would react, but I just know one way to pay my debts. Said that, she places her hands on his upper leg, gliding her hand up toward his crotch, before taking his hand and placing it on her own crotch. Josh. Alexis! You sure you want to do that? I mean, not that I don't want this, but if you do this, you're not better than your spouse. Alexis, shaking her head. Shh. Don't talk. Just enjoy. Alexa bows down toward Josh's crotch, opening his jeans and taking out his semi-erect 5.5 inches cock. As she slowly licks the tip of the cock while massaging his balls and stroking his shaft, she feels the cock growing 2 more inches. While she sucks the biggest cock she had in years, she feels Josh being nervous about something. Josh. Alexis, I don't want to interrupt you, but I don't know. Aren't you afraid of being caught in the act? I mean, we are parked at a gas station, with people driving their cars by all the time. Alexis sighs as she stops blowing. No, I'm not. But if you are, you can drive the car to a less public place. But I like the danger and the risk more, and I might not be so aroused anymore. As Josh isn't doing anything, Alexa goes back to licking the tip of Josh's cock, slowly bobbing her head downstairs on the entire shaft, taking every inch inside her tiny mouth and her throat. Alexa hardly works against her gag flex. With tears welling up and running out of her eyes, messing up her makeup, she gives her best not to throw up. Having to take a short rest, she slides back up to the tip, catching some breath before going down once more. Having the entire cock inside her mouth again, she starts massaging Josh's balls. Having his dream come true, Josh can't help but feel his orgasm coming close in record time. He moans loudly. Josh. Watch out, Alexis! I'm about to explode! I just can't hold on much longer! But Alexa doesn't care as she continues to deep throat Josh's cock. After a few more seconds, she feels his cock throbbing before she feels a huge load of sperm being unloaded inside her throat. Trying to swallow all sperm, some sperm leaks out of her mouth, dripping onto Josh's seat. Alexis, after regaining her breath. Wow! That was one huge load! I can't help, but I want your cock inside my pussy. And I don't care if you have a condom or not. Damn! But I need you. And I need you here inside the car. Having said that, she gets up, leaves the car before opening the back door, and entering the back seats. As she pulls off her tight dress, she reveals that she isn't wearing any bra or panties. Alexis, sighing. Originally, that was planned to be revealed to my stupid boyfriend. But now, he's history. Get fucking out! Josh, unable to hide a giggle. If you really want this, I'll make that happen. Josh bows forward to Alexis's crotch before slowly looking over her labias, before twirling his tongue over her clitoris, making her pussy dripping wet, while stroking his cock back to its entire length. Being rock hard once again, he slowly enters his cock into Alexis's pussy. Alexis, moaning out loud. Oh my God! It felt huge inside my mouth, but now with that boner up inside me, it feels even bigger. Please, Josh, fuck my tight pussy mercilessly, like you would fuck a whore. I want you to make me regret all that. Make me scream out loud. I want to be fucked like never before. Doing like he is told, Josh grabs Alexis by her waist, before starting to smack his cock hard and deep into that tight pussy he gets to fuck. Making Alexis scream in an enormous volume, he feels her pussy widening with every thrust he smacks his cock inside it, while widely penetrating the hell out of the 5-foot blonde bombshell, also known as 5 Feet of Fury. Josh bows forward, taking her nipples inside his mouth. The combination of getting her nipples licked and her pussy brutally invaded, Alexis knows her orgasm isn't waiting a long time. As she feels her body being shaken by every thrust, and her pussy widen more and more with every second. Alexis starts to flicker more and more with every second of trying to hold her orgasm back in the effort of trying to come simultaneously with Josh. Josh, moaning. Come on, Alexa! Come for me! Come for me hard! Just seconds after having said that, both come at the same time. With Alexa squirting against Josh's pelvic region, and Josh unleashing a second huge load of cum deep inside Alexis's pussy. Alexis laughing. Wow! Second time and another huge load unleashed? You really are one heck of a great lover. It's a shame you don't have a woman for yourself. You would make her the luckiest woman alive. Alexa reaches for her handbag, takes out some tissues and cleans herself up before putting her black dress back on and getting back in the front seat. Josh: "It's too bad you have such a horrible spouse, but if you really liked it that much, you could say my phone number and call me whenever you want to repeat this session." As Josh continues driving the cab toward the hotel, Alexa saves his number inside her phone. As the cab arrives in front of the hotel, Alexa leaves the car, but not before planting a kiss on his lips. Alexis: "Thanks for all that fun. I will call you in the next weeks. I promise." After saying that, she enters the hotel, and Josh continues working as if nothing happened. The end. Thank you for listening to episode number 100 of WrestleRotica. We hope that you enjoyed this week's stories. As always, if you enjoyed this week's stories, please be sure to like, review, and subscribe to us on iTunes. Visit us elsewhere online, including Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, Tumblr, and as always, our official website, WrestleRoticaPod.com. Thank you and have a good, or maybe a horny week.